everybody, what's up y'all? Motorcycle therapy time because reasons, right? So, let's get to the point. Today's subject is what changed you, or more precisely what changed, shut the base hole, what changed your perspective on the world, on relationships, on everything. I'm gonna just give you the answer right now. Mine is just life. Life changed me. There's no one single event that made me the way that I am right now. It's a combination of events, a compilation of events, if you will. The only reason I bring this up is because I got reminded from a troop of mine that somebody told them to talk to me because they were having an issue, and they told my troop that they could talk to me because I'm understanding and compassionate and, you know, all the things. And I was like, no, I'm not. In my head. I didn't tell it to the troop. Because at the time the person was explaining to me what they were going through, I was like, oh yeah, that's not a problem. We can deal with this, we can do that, we can do this, we can do that. We got a solution here. Whatever the issue was, we handled it. And that person left my office feeling better than they did when they first came in, because they assumed, as people do, because I'm in leadership, that they're going to come to me with a problem and I'm going to make their problem worse, or I'm not going to understand, or I'm not going to have compassion or sympathy or empathy or any of the positive things that you should have when you're dealing with somebody else's issues, because it's the military, right? If you don't know, if I've not mentioned it 1,000 times, if you're new to the channel, I'm in the military. Been in 24 years as of December 28th. Still staying in, going to be in for a while, I think. Maybe. Well, we can talk about that. Anyway, it's part of the military culture, and it can be a learned behavior, a observed behavior, because some people in leadership actually do suck. Now, I'm not proud of a lot of things, and I don't say a lot of things in a prideful manner, but I can tell you right damn now, I don't suck. I am GPS lady. I try to be the best leader I can in comparison to those who came before me, and I put all my tools and life experiences to work because I have them for a reason, right? Now, I used to look at this dude named Greg Brooks. I don't know if he made it to E8 or not. He was definitely E8. He was Senior Master Sergeant, or Master Sergeant is E7, Senior is E8. I don't think he made Senior. Even if he did, it doesn't matter. Dude's name was Greg Brooks. Still Greg Brooks. He didn't die. He just retired. And I would look at him, and in my I'm like, GPS lady, I'm like, this dude was either born this way, which I doubt. He was extremely cool. Like, you could not shake this man. He used to deal with people, base training. I don't know if you ever, listen, military stuff is hard to, base training is tough. You got to deal with everybody's bullshit for the most part. You got to deal with getting people orders. You got to get it shipped off to school. It's part of basic training. This add-on tech school, any schools that people need to go through, records and documentation and all kinds of crap that they have to deal with. It's highly stressful. That's just one of his he used to deal with the deployment of members. I'm about to punch this GPS in the face. Anyway, or he became such a cool cucumber because of his life experiences, and I did not know him very well, but you could kind of look at this man and just see that he went through some shit, which made him unflappable, right? Dealing with the stuff that he dealt with on a daily basis had to be nothing compared to what he dealt with in real life. Now, this is an assumption. I never asked him these questions, but you could just kind of tell. Sometimes you can just tell that dude been through something, because he treated stuff that at the time I was looking at like an emergency, like, oh yeah, we good, we can do this, we can do that, knock this out the park, and I'm like flipping out internally, sometimes externally at the time, because I was a younger troop and I didn't know the ways of the world, especially the military world, in such a fashion that I do now. Now I think, or have perceptions, that people look at me similar to how I looked at him, just because I've been through some shit. If you haven't heard me yapping about it enough, I've only talked about a few of the things that I've been through in life, most of the higher, bigger ticket milestones, if you will, and it made me the way that I am now, and I'm still growing, I'm still going through stuff. However, 20 years ago me would lose his mind if he went through anything today me has gone through now. But the me that grew within those 20 years has learned to become the me today, right? If I go through something that I would have went through 20 years ago, I look at it like, that's when my troop came to me. He was like, yo, this is a problem. I think my security clearance is going to be infected, this, that, and the other. I was like, you good? I said, bro, I was pulled from the desert, investigated by the FBI because I was part of a massive rental car scheme and I still got a TS. You good. Fill out this form. We're going to turn this in, and we're going to get you on your merry way, and I'll see you at drill next week. And he was like, oh, I was like, yeah, don't worry about that. We got it. Because I've been through worse, and I could ease this person's mind based on this situation. And I personally believe the more things you go through, even though it's hard to advocate for something that sucks so bad, because life can fucking suck. This carnival of bullshittery that we're on called life can make or break you. And sometimes I'm still on the make part, and sometimes I'm on the razor's edge of the break part. Luckily, I've been able to recover from so many things that I've been through. And I say luckily because I don't know what else got me through it. I'm not super religious, and it wasn't faith. It was, sometimes I'll look up at the stars in the universe and be like, if there's a God, whatever version you are, universe, ancestors, whatever shit that's out there that's looking over me, you know who I'm talking about if I don't get your name exactly right. Help me.
Help me! Help me!
But in between there, I was like, shit, I got lucky because it was a couple times I was like, all right, it's lights out and I'm done because I cannot get through this. And then I got through that. And now I can use my experiences to help other people. And I have a broad range of shit. It ain't just like I went through life and was, what? Random bull in that dude's yard. That's funny. Went through life and was like the golden child, right? Because some people get that, and I think their views on life are skewed, but we're not talking about them. I've gone through shit, bankruptcy, investigation, like I said, by the FBI, divorce, which is like a fucking second bankruptcy. It's just less lawyer fees and more child support. I've been damn near homeless. I've had things turned off, been stolen from. Listen, I talk about it in other videos. I hate to repeat all the stuff because I feel like I'm rehashing old topics, but they're relevant to today's topic. I've been through some shit. I've had multiple PT failures. I can relate to people on that. I can relate to people on relationship issues. I can relate to people on literally divorce. I can relate to people on family members dying from natural causes, dying from ill intent, murder, all that jazz, stress, skin conditions, all like medical stuff. Like, oh, we was talking me in physical therapy. Stuff that people talk about and then they expect, again, people in leadership to not understand when they need a day off or they need to handle something. Oh, especially kids, right? Like, I'm a big take care of your kids kind of person. I can't pinpoint what made me that way, but if my daughter needs some stuff, I'm like, I'm taking a day off or I'm leaving work early, or when she was sick, I would call in. I never really used my sick leave for me. I used it for her. And it's just always been that way. So when the troop comes to me, it's like, hey, boss, I got to, if I could leave a couple hours early, I got to go to my daughter, or staying after school, or can I come in late because my daughter or my son is graduating preschool? I'm like, of course, take that time. This is that work-life balance thing that we've been working so hard to get under control for the last however many decades in the military, and as a civilian working for military type stuff that people talk about all the time in the civilian world. It's one of those things where you might not even have to take leave depending on the situation. This is my gift to you as a morale boost for you working hard and staying over those days where I need you to stay over, or just being a not shitbag. Because sometimes you don't need to do extra. Sometimes you don't need to do extra. Sometimes the fact that you are a good person, good troop, good worker, whatever, gets you the benefit of, I say this like I'm super important, my grace, because I'm your boss, and me sticking up for you in case somebody asks me, oh, how come this dude didn't come to the meeting? Because that person, or that man or woman, had an event to attend for their child, and I support my people. And I know how missing those things can be when you don't have to. When we have to, when we're on orders, when we're doing an exercise, when we're doing things that we can't miss because it's going to give us a bad grade on an inspection or it's going to hurt a mission. Cool. But in times when we don't have to do that, I don't do that. And in turn, I think I have garnered the respect of the people who work for me, around me, and with me. And sometimes the people that work above me, because I'll be like, hey, sir, my boss, I'm talking to him. My dude's out today, he had a thing. And he knows me now enough to go, okay, cool. Because he knows I'm not letting my people off for some bullshit. I'm letting them off because it's important to either me or them, or both. And then the long-term health of the squadron, the wing, the unit, whatever, keeping my people taken care of is one of those things. And not to mention, all of this military stuff came from a direct correlation with me trying to learn how to be better for my daughter. I was looking at life like, I ain't never been like, oh yeah, I've been living life wrong, like I've been living dirty and all that stuff. I've always been a good dude, good person, I think, right? Trying to do right by people. But something about my life in the past, I just was doing, I wasn't living wrong, but I was just doing life wrong, if that makes sense. Like, my relationships is failing, I'm pissed. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Trying, but stuff ain't working because I still had plenty of areas in which to grow in and apply the growth to my life. It's not like I just, okay, a couple times if things were forced upon me, like, you know, marriage counseling and all that shit, I was like, I'm gonna go this bullshit, but I did it. And then once I was able to kind of express myself in a venue where I was like, okay, this is the real Skinny. This is what the fuck's going on. This is what's happening on my end. This is what I see is happening on her end. What are we gonna do about it? Even after maximum effort and that relationship failed, right? I continued to do betterment classes as part of my leadership stuff because they do that when you become leadership. But then I took it upon myself to do more stuff on my own because I was like, you know what? Somehow, somewhere, this is improving my life, my brain. I'll punch this GPS lady in the mouth. And I'm gonna keep doing this. So I started doing it, and I kept continuing doing it. And I started telling my people, hey, you should do this. It's not just because I'm telling you because it's part of your leadership stuff and you need it for promotion or whatever. I'm telling you because it's helping me become a better person. I'm telling you because it helped me deal with my daughter. And I'm telling you because all of that stuff helped me deal with my daughter. It's helped me deal with y'all. I didn't use the military experience to get better in the military. I used that to help me get better with my daughter, and then in turn I used the relationship with my daughter to help me get better with my troops. Kind of a circle of life kind of thing. And then in doing so, I was like, yo, now I've learned that, okay, yes, relationships and shit in life still fails, but it ain't always because of me. Or I can go, I put in maximum effort, I made an honest try, I did the things I was supposed to do, I said the things I was supposed to say, and if the things still fail, I'm no longer looking at me like, okay, well, I fucked that up. I'll go, okay, well, I gave it the best try that I could, and they fucked it up. Doesn't make me feel any better on that aspect, but it does make me feel better because I'm no longer wondering how much of a jackass I was and how much I ruined a relationship or a interaction or a meeting or whatever the case may be when I'm dealing with somebody else. Now I can go, okay, I know for sure that this was the best outcome with the best and most amount of effort that I could have given at the time for the situation, and it was all positive. There was no nefarious intent. There was no, manipulation in the back end of the situation. It was true. It was honest. And if it still failed, cool. But previous me would have been in the ruts. I'd have been mad. I'd have been upset. I'd have been, fighting and arguing. Something in my shirt. And that would have made the situation much worse. I now approach things with a much calmer, cooler demeanor. And it's all because in comparison, shit that I've been through, most of the stuff that I deal with now, it's pretty cool, right? Like, grown-up life still sucks every now and then. Issues still come up every now and then. GPS lady, shut your ass. Tragedies still happen every now and then. However, since I was not previously broken by all the things that I've gone through, I'm still a form of broken. I'm fractured. I won't say I'm broken, but I'm able to cope and deal with. Now, I'm not going to say I'm invincible. I am 100% not. I'm very invincible. I'm just better at discerning what to and to not to put myself into as far as situations, conversations, things I know I can't handle based off the experiences that I've had. So if I know I can't help somebody, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where they're relying on me for that help. I'm just going to get them that help based on the fact that I knew I can't handle this. But if I knew that I can't handle it, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability until I can't. And this whole spectrum of stuff in the middle, it was all because what changed me was like, some people get changed by a single event. They're like, oh shit, I ain't never do. Oh, well, I got changed by the fact that I came really for shit one time, and I haven't done one since because I have not practiced, and I've been scared, and it just flipped the switch in my brain, and I was like, I am getting older. I take longer to heal. I got a daughter to worry about. I had all this stuff to worry. This was years ago. My daughter's old now, but I was like, when she was still in middle school, high school, I was like, okay, let me get it together. Now that I'm, she's on her own-ish, still in my house, freeloader, but I no longer have to have that, be available for her and, pick her up from school kind of deal. That doesn't mean I'm going to just be reckless and injure myself. However, the things that would have been affected by me being injured, had I hurt myself doing wheelies, the risks are managed, right? I don't have to worry about that. Now, other than busting my ass and being embarrassed and hurting myself and being off work for a couple of days, worst case scenario, if I go practice it, I don't think I'll ever try to do one in public again. I'm too old for that. But that's just one of those things that was, boom, this happened and life changed. Other than that, my brother, and my mom dying, boom, this happened. Everything in the past didn't mean shit to me anymore. Those few massive milestone events had big impacts, but the overall culmination of all the events in my life is what changed my perspective, because I was like, I'm either going to grow or I'm going to stay the same, and I don't know which one is going to give me the best results. However, at the time that these changes were happening in the old noodle, my brain said the best bet is to try your best to continue to grow rather than blame the situations that happen around you, because you're still a shitty person. Not super shitty. I was a version of shitty, right? There's the spectrum again. But wasn't mean. I wasn't, I'm gonna just ruin people's lives. But, there was room for improvement. Now, I think I'm done yapping, because this lady is really pissing me off. I don't know if y'all can hear this broad. And I call her broad because she's a robot, and I don't care if she has feelings. They're not going to get hurt anyway. But it's frustrating me, and it's messing up my yap sesh. So, what's up, construction bros? I'm out. Also, what was your suggestion? What made you change? Bitch, shut up! Goddamn! I'm out.